system, the water's actually pumped in. And Brad, to answer your question, they actually pump the cold water into the radiator first to keep from hurting the engine. See the flapper valve right here? But after they get it full, they've got a sight tube right here that tells them that they have adequate water in the system, but they still have to go back and put a little charge of nitrogen to it to put pressure back on the system to make sure that the engine's cooled properly. Marty?
All right, thanks, Tim. And there is Casey Kane, as he is shown now in 25th position. We can tell you Kenny Wallace got the lucky dog as he gets back on the lead lap. We have 27 cars now on the lead lap. In fact, we also can tell you that the 11 car of Brian Scott has come back out onto the racetrack. He is now 40 laps down. Couple of penalties, Shelby Howard in the 70 and also Eric McClure in the 24, although we did not get clarification yet on what those penalties were for. While we find out those stats, let's also talk about our leader, Dave Burns. Obviously a minor glitch with Dave. We'll find out as soon as we can from him. It is Carl Edwards up front with Wimmer second, Kyle Busch third, Kelly Byers fourth, Brad Keselowski fifth, Greg Biffle in sixth, Joey Logano seventh. Then it's Brendan Gaughan, Justin Allgaier, Kevin Harvick rounding out your top 10. Pace car pulls down off of turn 4, and again the race leader has selected the outside lane. Green flag flies. We're back to racing here at Bristol.
I think Kelly Byers is seeing this as his opportunity to get his car up into that second spot again.
Boy, Carl Edwards pulls out quickly on Kelly Byers. We can tell you the 70 was for a rolling tire on Shelby Howard, 24 Eric McClure, improper fueling, so that gets you updated on everything. We're back to the racing out on the track, and boy, Carl's trying to hide. I don't think he's going to be too successful after a while, but he's got a good start going right now. Greg Biffle in third, Kyle Busch in fourth, and Wimmer's getting past.
Yeah, Wimmer's caught down on that inside like we saw Joey Logano earlier. It seems like he's really paid the price when you can't get up in that outside groove.
Yeah, he's going to go from second all the way down to, well, another lap. He's going to be outside the top 10 at this pace.
Yeah, and that's one thing that hampered Kyle Busch on this restart is he had to start on the inside. He's got himself back to the 4th spot now, but he sees Carl Edwards driving away a little bit as he has traffic between them.
Harvick taking a look underneath the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Thinks better of it at that moment. Here he goes again.
We've seen a lot of guys trying to make these pass on the inside, but it's been very, very difficult. I think the combination of the tire and that safer barrier being moved in is making these passes on the exit much more difficult. Yeah, you see these teammates, these Penske teammates racing each other now. Justin Allgaier on the inside of Brad Keselowski.
And that racing each other hard. That's for 8th on the racetrack as we go on board with Justin. That is Wimmer right in front of him, and a whole lot of discount tire beside him.
Yeah, you see the 12 car make that pass on the inside. He's going to try to move up there and do the same thing to Scott Wimmer, but that's pretty impressive.
Battle for second place as it's Kelly Byers and Greg Biffle, and Byers trying to hang on, Biffle trying to cut underneath him. Can't get it done there. Justin Allgaier underneath on the right side of your screen, Scott Wimmer. That also for position. That is for 7th on the racetrack.
Justin Allgaier able to make that pass on Scott Wimmer.
Here comes Logano on the high side, but he's going to have to deal with Wimmer as Keselowski still is underneath the 7. Kyle Busch has now gotten into this 3-car mix on the left side of your screen.
Yeah, Biffle tried to drive it into turn 3 really hard and was going to try to put a slide job, but he didn't get quite far enough in front of Kelly Byers.
Yeah, he might pay the price right here if he can't make this pass because he got Kyle Busch right behind him.
Kelly Byers, last time he pitted was on lap 55, and we are working lap 143.
Yeah, that's the same lap that Scott Wimmer pitted on in the 7 car, and you see now he's under attack by some cars with fresher tires. Joey Logano now starting to move forward.
Biff was just not able to make that run off the corner where he's having to pedal the throttle a little bit, but Kelly Byers can jump in the gas and use all of that engine on the exit of the corner. Dave?
And
guys, this is not his first time racing here, but in talking with Kelly about running this track this weekend, he said, you know what, this is the first time I've been in a truly competitive race car, and I can't wait to start it. Remember, his day didn't start so well, but they've got it together now, and so far, that little piece that was dangling off causing no trouble, just a piece of trim, and NASCAR's not going to make them.
Kyle Busch gets into the 88. Boy, Kyle turns him, and he's going to hit the wall, and we now have our 5th
Kelly,
caution.
the whole field's coming here. Hold the brakes. They're all going to go low. That's the 18. Just turned us. No reason.
Series. And as we ride along with Justin Allgaier, I want to mention that if you're a Verizon Wireless customer, text the word champion to 43776 for an exclusive Champions Chat from our NASCAR Now Roundtable experts. Every Monday when we're gathered up in our ESPN studios, we talk about a particular topic of the week that interests us, and it's available to you if you're a Verizon Wireless customer by texting that to that. Check it out. In the pit studio with Rusty Wallace and Brad Daugherty watching the first 2/3 of this race unfold. Rusty, Greg Biffle is leading on older tires. Kasey Kahne has had the dominant car, trying to come back through after overheating problems. Got Edwards and Kyle Busch trying to pick their way back through after pitting recently. How do you make sense of all that?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff to take a look at right there. No doubt about that, guys. But I'm pretty impressed with this tire that these guys brought here, that Goodyear's brought this week. This is the same 4 tires they developed for the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis. In fact, it's the same compound right here. You see these top 3 guys, they haven't pitted. They pitted last time on lap 92, and they're still going. But, you know, as I'm looking back through the field a little bit, the guy I'm really concerned about right now is actually Kasey Kahne. He had that motor overheating real bad, Brad. And, boy, when you get a motor that hot, you just don't know if it's going to last.
Out in front of the leaders. The leaders are right in the middle of that. Oh, Greg Biffle sneaks through. But Brendan Gaughan doesn't.
Oh, man, I tell you what.
We're in it, Brad.
We saw Tony Raines get a little sideways there. And Shelby Howard had nowhere to go and just, oh, man, tore up some
And
good race
Kasey
cars.
Kahne.
Oh, man, tore up some good race cars. Brendan Gaughan was having a heck of a run, doing a great job, had that car up front, just managing those tires. He had a lot of laps on those tires, and boy, just nowhere to go.
So caution out for the 6th time. Marty, Andy, and DJ, we're going to get the answers to some of those strategy questions now in a minute, but boy, that was close for some of the leaders.
Yeah, it was, and a tough break for Kasey Kahne because we were watching and we were all pretty much in agreement that it looked like he had the best race car out there at that particular stretch.
Yeah, right behind them were the leaders racing really hard. Keselowski, Biffle, and Allgaier. Looks like Keselowski wound up with the lead when the caution came out.
Go back and take a look at it. Well, watch the 34.
Tony Raines just kind of caught in the middle there, and Shelby Howard gets into him. And they get together again.
Kenny Wallace gets through, but not Brendan Gaughan and not the 38 of Kasey Kahne. Just an Allgaier. Bam.
Well, things, as we said, just happened so quickly here. You got basically one chance to try to make a move, and those guys just didn't have enough room.
On board with Kasey Kahne.
Right here, you can see that happening.
Check up. Get low.
You just can't get your car slowed down enough. Yeah, you want it to stop it. Just do it. Yeah, these are 3,400-pound cars. See right there, Biffle had the lead through all that. Out comes Keselowski.
Big hit. Take a look at Greg Biffle. Keep an eye on the 27.
This happens directly in front of Greg Biffle. You talk about being lucky. Well, he got slowed down.
Tell you what, give credit to Allgaier because he could have gotten into Biffle and could have taken them both along for the ride.
Really paying attention.
Shelby Howard is out of the car, and he'll make the mandatory trip to the infield care center. And there's the crew already at work on Brendan Gaughan's car. Can tell you the 73 of Derek Cope will get the lucky dog. That'll give us 25 cars back on the lead lap.
As I think, watching that last run, if Carl Edwards is going to have a chance to win this race, I think he's going to have to pit with those guys here, get tires back on this thing again.
Well, our aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. Learn how to win $1 million. Just go to directtv.com/NASCAR. And thank you guys for the great pictures from high above the world's fastest half-mile track. Our 6th caution of the day, as we've had a total of 32